Hey, I want to share something that many of us have experienced but rarely talk about: how a woman feels when she realizes she's lost. You picture this. Have you ever heard someone say, "You don't know what you've got until it's gone"? This phrase hits differently when it comes to relationships. It's not just about regret, it's about the self-reflection, memories, and sudden clarity that follow. Let me tell you a story. A friend of mine went through a rough breakup. At first, his ex seemed fine, even distant. But months later, she started reaching out with random texts and comments like, "Hey, saw something that reminded me of you. He asked me why now. Why does she care?" This conversation led me to explore this deeply. Human experience: why absence creates emotional gravity. Let's dive into what really happens when someone realizes they've lost you and how to handle it. Point 1. Reconnecting efforts. The first sign: she'll try to reconnect, but not in obvious ways. Maybe she follows you on Instagram, likes an old post, or sends a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" Does that sound familiar? This isn't random. It's intentional. Take another example my coworker Lisa shared, how she reconnected with an ex after months of silence. She said, "I didn't want to seem desperate, so I just liked one of his posts and hoped he'd notice." This is what I call the breadcrumb trail. It's her way of saying, "I'm thinking about you," without fully opening up. If you notice these breadcrumbs, don't rush to conclusions. Observe. Does she seem genuine, or is it just nostalgia? Sometimes these actions are more about her than you, a way to test her own feelings before we move on. Let me ask, what would you do if an ex reached out tomorrow? Keep that thought in mind as we explore her next steps. Point 2. Testing the waters when she finally reaches out directly. It's rarely emotional at first. Instead of saying, "I miss you," it's something safe like, "How's work going?" This approach isn't random. It's self-protection. No one wants to risk outright rejection, right? I once read in Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People that people are naturally risk-averse when it comes to emotional vulnerability. This principle applies here. She's testing the waters, hoping you'll meet her halfway. Think about your intentions. Are you open to reconnecting? If so, keep the conversation light but honest. If not, be respectful but firm. Let her know where you stand without giving false hope. Here's the exciting part. Her subtle messages often lead to something deeper, which brings us to the next point. Point 3. Why absence creates fear. Here's the truth. Absence forces clarity. Think about a time you stepped away from something, a job, a friendship, or even a favorite hobby, didn't it? Give you perspective. The same happens in relationships for her. Your absence creates a void. At first, she might believe you'll come back, but when she sees you've moved on, no likes, no replies, that's when the fear sets in. She starts questioning, "Did I take him for granted?" Psychologists call this loss aversion. We fear losing something more than we enjoy gaining it. It's why people often act impulsively when they realize they've lost. Reconnecting efforts: social media, intentional. Testing the waters: emotional vulnerability. Absence creates fear, loss aversion. Something valuable: stay grounded. If you've been focusing on personal growth during the no-contact phase, keep going. Your progress isn't just about her, it's about you. But here's the twist. This realization can lead to surprising opportunities to reconnect, if it's right for you. Point 4. When it's okay to reconnect. Sometimes reconnections happen for the right reasons. Maybe the breakup stemmed from a misunderstanding, a miscommunication, or external pressures. In these cases, a sincere conversation can clear the air. One of my favorite examples comes from a couple. I know they broke up because of conflicting schedules and stress, not because of a lack of love. Months later, they reconnected at a mutual friend's party. After an honest talk, they realized their breakup was a mistake and started fresh. Now they're married with 2 kids. Ask yourself what caused the breakup. If it was something superficial, a second chance might work. But if deeper issues like dishonesty or incompatibility were involved, it's wiser to let go. Remember, not every reconnection leads to reconciliation. Point 5. Understanding her feeling. So what exactly is she feeling? Regret, nostalgia, and maybe guilt. Regret for not appreciating what she had. Nostalgia for the good times. Guilt for her role in the breakup. This emotional mix often triggers her to reach out. These feelings are about her journey, not yours. As Mark Manson writes in The Subtle Art of Not Giving AF, people often chase closure to feel better about their own choices. It's important to recognize when her actions are about self-healing versus genuinely wanting to reconnect. Stay self-aware. Understand her feelings, but don't let them dictate your actions, your growth and well-being. Come first. Point 6. Your power to decide. Imagine this. You receive a message from her. Something simple, yet profound. I've been thinking about you in that moment. You stand at a crossroads. The choice isn't about her feelings, it's about your future. Will you retrace old paths, or step into the unknown with purpose and clarity? Think of a bridge. It connects two sides, but crossing it always means leaving one behind. Your decision is the same. Consider what lies ahead. Your values, goals, and self-worth. Relationships that fail often do so because their foundation wasn't built to last, and going back doesn't guarantee repair. It might only repeat the cycle when she reaches out. Pause, reflect on your journey. And growth, is it worth risking that for familiarity, or is it time to trust in your strength to move forward? Remember, honoring your evolution isn't just self-respect, it's a commitment to your brightest future. At the end of the day, losing someone teaches us about ourselves. Whether it's her reflecting on what she lost, or you realizing what you deserve, growth is the ultimate goal. And remember, the best connections happen when two whole individuals come together, not when one person is chasing another. Thanks for watching. And if this resonated with you, share us your thoughts. I'd love to hear your story, your reconnection. Sincere conversation, conflicting schedules, honest talk, understanding her feelings, regret, nostalgia, guilt. Your power to decide, crossroads, choice.